I know, Oscar. What am I gonna do?
I'm gonna wash down the pills with some hot black coffee. Do you think I can leave you alone for 2 minutes?
No, Oscar, sit with me. Talk to me.
A cup of black coffee. It'll be good for you. Come on in the kitchen.
Do you know what the terrible thing is? I think I still love her. I mean, sure, it's a lousy marriage, but I still love her. Oscar, I don't want this divorce.
How about some Ovaltine? Do you like Ovaltine? With Fig Newtons or chocolate Malamars?
I mean, okay, so we don't get along, but we have 2 wonderful kids. Oh, and we have a beautiful home. Don't we, Oscar?
How about vanilla wafers? Or piano fingers? I got everything.
Hey, what more does she want? What more does any woman want?
I want to know what you want. Ovaltine, coffee, or tea. Then we'll get to the divorce.
It's not fair, damn it. It's just not fair. Oh.
What?
Oh, it's a nerve spasm. I get them in my neck and, oh, it hurts.
Where? Where does it hurt?
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I just want to see where it hurts.
It'll go away. Just let me alone for a few minutes.
Here, I'll rub it for you. It'll ease the pain.
Oh, you don't know how. It's a special way. Only Frances knows how to rub me.
Well, do you want me to ask her to come over and rub you?
We're getting a divorce. I mean, she wouldn't rub me anymore. It's tension. I must be tense.
I wouldn't be surprised. How long does it last?
Oh, sometimes a minute, sometimes an hour. I once got it while I was driving and I crashed into a liquor store.
Oh. Do you want to suffer or do you want me to rub your stupid neck?
Easy.
Relax.
Don't yell at me. What am I going to do, Oscar? Tell me nicely.
Think of warm Jell-O.
Isn't that terrible? I can't do it. I can't relax. I mean, I sleep in one position all night long. Francis says when I die, my tombstone is going to read, "Here stands Felix Unger."
Oh, does that hurt?
No, it feels good.
Well, then say so. You make the same sound for pain or happiness.
I know. I think I'm crazy, Oscar.
What makes you feel better, I think so too.
No, I mean, why else do I go to pieces like this? I mean, running up here, scaring you to death, trying to kill myself, what is that?
And see, that's panic. You're a panicky person. You have a low threshold for composure.
Stop, it feels good.
Well, if you don't relax, I'll break my fingers. Look at this. The only man in the world with clenched hair.
I do terrible things, Oscar. You know I'm a crybaby.
Bend over.
Oh! I tell the whole world my problems.
Listen, if this hurts, just tell me, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
It just isn't nice, Oscar, running up here like this, carrying on like a nut.
How's your neck feel?
Oh, better. Oh, but my back hurts.
You needed a drink.
I can't drink. I get sick when I drink. I tried drinking last night.
Where were you last night?
Nowhere. I just walked.
All night?
All night.
In the rain?
No, in a hotel. I couldn't sleep. I just walked around the room all night. It was over near Times Square, this dirty, depressing room. And suddenly I found myself staring at a window, and I began to think about jumping.
Change your mind.
Nothing. I'm still thinking about it.
Here, drink this.
I don't want to get divorced, Oscar. I don't want to suddenly change my whole life. I mean, talk to me. What am I going to do?
You're going to pull yourself together, and then you're going to drink that scotch. And then you and I are going to figure out a whole new life for you.
Without Francis, without the kids.
It's been done before.
You don't understand, Oscar. I'm nothing without them. I'm nothing.
What do you mean you're nothing? You're something. A person. You're flesh and blood and bone and hair and nails and ears. You're not a fish. You're not a buffalo. You're you. You walk and talk and cry and complain and eat little green pills and send suicide telegrams. No one else does that, Felix. I'm telling you, you're the only one of its kind in the world. Don't drink that.
You've been here before, Oscar. How did you do it? How did you get to those first few nights?
I did exactly what you're doing.
Going hysterical?
No, drinking. Drinking. I drank for 4 days and I drank for 4 nights and then I fell through a window. I was bleeding, but I was forgetting.
You forget your kids. I mean, how do you just wipe out 12 years of marriage?
You can't. When you walk into 8 empty rooms every day, it hits you in the face like a wet glove. But those are the facts, Felix. You gotta face it. You can't spend the rest of your life crying. There don't always people in the movies. How many people in ginger scotch?
No, you wait.
He wasn't at the train station.
Oh my gosh. He is so wonderful. When he does that last note, I can hardly breathe.
Maggie, he wasn't there. Huh? No, sir, I couldn't find him. It's your father. No, sir, I looked everywhere. I had him paged, I asked for conductor. I'm sorry, Sir? Sir? He's gonna kill me.
Will not. You have no one to yell at. At least no one who takes it the way you do.
Maggie, the man is 2 hours late. The rehearsal starts in 10 minutes.
He'll be here, Max. This is Tito Morelli we're talking about. He's a genius. He just don't think like other people.
So what are you saying? He's a grown man and he can't tell time?
I'm just not worried, okay? Oh, Max, just think of it. Tonight, the curtain rises and he walks on stage and suddenly there's nothing else in the world but that voice.
Well, I can sing too, you know.
Max. You sing like Tito Morelli.
Not yet, okay?
You don't.
In your opinion, it's a matter of taste.
It is not. I wish you'd quit fooling yourself, Max. Tito Morelli is a star. He sings all over the world. He's in Life magazine.
So is Ren 1010.
And he's very sensitive.
Well, how do you know that?
Because I met him last year.
You did? You never told me that.
Well, that was no big thing. When I was in Italy with Daddy, he was in Aida. And after the show, we went backstage and there he was, all by himself behind the curtain. He was wearing a sort of loincloth, and his whole body was pouring with sweat. And he looked up and he saw me, and do you know what he did, Max? He kissed my palms.
Yeah, so what?
It was romantic.
He's Italian. They kiss everything.
Forget it.
If it moves, they kiss it.
Max.
So what else happened?
Nothing of any importance.
Something else happened?
Not really.
Something sort of happened.
What was that like?
What happened?
It was nothing. I fainted.
You
It
fainted?
must have been the heat and all the excitement. I remember thinking suddenly, my gosh, it's like an oven back here. And then we were talking and he sort of stared right at me and I blacked out.
Oh, great. I mean, this is terrific. My fiance meets this sweaty Italian guy and she keels
From
over.
the heat. And I'm not your fiance, Max.
Wait a minute. Did I ask you to marry me or not, huh? You remember? What did you black out during the proposal?
I heard it, Max, and I said no.
You said you'd think about it.
Max, listen, I'm just not ready. I need something special first, something wonderful and romantic.
I'm not romantic. I can't believe this. What do you call a rowboat at 3 a.m.? Moonlight shimmering on the water, no one around for miles.
You lost the oars.
But it was fun. It turned out fun.
We spent 30 hours in a rowboat, Max.
That's not the point.
I haven't had any flings, Max.
Flings?
Flings.
I've been asking you to fling with me for 3 years now. I've begged you.
I don't mean that. I just mean I need some wider experience.
Oh, I see. You mean like Diana?
Diana.
Desdemona, soprano?
Oh, her.
She's been flinging her way through the whole cast. Long out. You should see the guy that plays Iago. He's supposed to be evil and he can hardly walk now. He's limping.
Max, listen. Let's just be honest. When you kiss me, do you hear anything special?
Like what?
Like bells?
You want to hear bells?
Yes, it sounds stupid, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
just practice with him. Let's go, kiddo. He was cute, wasn't he? Yeah, he did good. Alright, let's go.
Actually kicked off and ended. I entered the military shortly after that in 1991. I was served in the Air Force for 6 years on the KC-135 R model, which you see above me. I was a boom operator, which an in-flight air refueling specialist and a cargo load master. I refueled other airplanes in the air, everything from Air Force, Navy, Marines, and also foreign airplanes when we were overseas. One of the reasons why I went into the military, it was generational. My grandfather served in the military when it was Army Air Corps. Just a passion for serving your country and for fighting for freedom. That was one of my biggest passions for going in. And then seeing Desert Storm had actually been a long-term, it was actually called Operation Desert Storm. It had been a long-term war over in the areas of Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia. When the actual Desert Storm kicked off, it was basically a religious fervor trying to take over. Saddam Hussein was trying to take over the oil in Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia's basic call to us as the military to protect them. Had the opportunity to serve in Saudi Arabia many times, not just once, but I went over there several times. Culture is very different. Serving in the war was an eye-opening experience. I didn't have ground-to-ground combat operation. What I was responsible for was making sure that airplanes in the air were refueled for those combat attacks. So I didn't always see ground-to-ground combat. Our airplane, sorry I'm trying to keep going, our airplane could carry up to 200,000 pounds of fuel. It depended on how many people we had. We had a 3-man crew, a pilot, co-pilot, and a boom operator, myself. Sometimes on some special navigation trips we needed a navigator to help us navigate around our course. But we would fly a course in basically an oval pattern for hours on end, and we would receive as many airplanes up to our aircraft as possible. Of course, most of the time we knew ahead of time which airplanes they would be. Like I said, I've refueled everything, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and we had special, on the end of the boom, your typical airplanes, they had a hole basically, and my job was to make sure that our boom got into that hole to fill them up with gas. Certain aircraft we had to use different techniques for that refueling. We could carry up to 62 passengers, so I did a lot of hauling passengers, just like a flight attendant, but in the military also. So I'm fully trained on evacuation. I was responsible for, if there was ever going to be evacuation, I would be responsible for the entire crew also. We could carry 83,000 pounds of cargo, and we did a lot of that to and from most of our bases that we went to. We always had cargo for operational. Of course, when we went in, a lot of times we didn't always carry the troops, we carried the cargo with us. And the C-130s and the C-5s actually carried the troops, and the Hummers and the tanks, things like that. They would actually carry those.
What was your opinion on the war? Like, were you for it or against it?
Well, I wouldn't actually say I was either for it or against it. Of course, I've served my country, and I'm very proud that I've served my country. We were called upon as a protection. We're known as a force, and we serve well doing that as well, because we do have a lot of ground and air operations that a lot of other countries do not have the capability for. The thing that has come more prevalent in many other countries, more technology. So it's becoming a little bit scarier, the fact that we are so spread out all over the world, because making bombs is a common day thing in many places now. So I wouldn't say I was either for it or against it. It depends on where we are and what we're actually doing. And I'm just going to share this because I used the war and going overseas as an opportunity for ministry for me. It was kind of like my mission field that I knew I may never get the opportunity to do. So in light of the war and what we're actually doing or protecting people, you know, there's an opportunity to come into contact with a lot of people, and I spent a lot of time around Muslims. So that was an awesome opportunity for me to minister who Jesus Christ was also. And I made that a mission of mine, whether or not I was for or against any place that I went.
Who was president during this war? Do you know?
Yes, I do. President Clinton.
Did you agree with the things he sort
No.
of... Okay.
And it was a lot of the reasons why I don't agree with some of those things is because he has never served in the military. So some of the operations, I'm just going to leave it at that.
What do you feel about other people's views of the war?
Well, it depends on the families and it depends on the people. Nowadays, the military, and it has been since the mid-70s, is volunteer only. There's not a draft. So most of us choose to serve our country and choose to fight for freedom. So a lot of times, a lot of people get upset, and I understand people's lost. I've lost many people in and out of the war, serving in the military as well. But it's a volunteer only, and we're serving our country for our freedom here.
What was the culture over there?
Well, in Saudi Arabia, women are primarily the keepers of the home, tend to the children. If they ever went out in the public, which is very westernized, a lot of people do not realize they've got McDonald's, they've got Pizza Hut, they've got Burger King, but very interesting. A woman can never go out. I, as an American woman, could never go out in public alone. I could never go out with a group of... Let's stop that. I know it's very humorous. I'm watching Brian while I'm trying to speak. You can never go out in public alone. I always had to go with a group of 2 to 3 men around me. Always had to be covered in an abaya from head to toe. I normally wear closed-toed shoes as well. You could go in shops, you could spend at leisure. Of course, you had their dollars and things to spend with also. How do I say it? If anything ever happened to a woman in public, and I had witnessed this many times, if she fell over or had a heat stroke or was hit by a car, she was basically left there to lie.
Wow.
That was Allah's will. So that was very interesting to me to see as well. But the culture...
Take a detour!
Yeah, I know it hurts. Yeah, I know you're scared. Walking down the road that leads to who knows where. Don't you hang your head. Don't you give up yet. When courage starts to disappear, I will be right here. When your world breaks down and the voices tell you turn around, when your dreams give out, I will carry you, carry you. When the stars go blind and the darkness starts to flood your eyes, when you're falling behind, I will carry you. Everybody cries, everybody bleeds. No one ever said that life's an easy thing. That's the beauty of it. When you lose your way, Close your eyes and go to sleep. When your world breaks down and the voices, everybody cries, everybody bleeds. No one ever said that life's an easy thing. That's the beauty of it. When you lose your way, close your eyes and go to sleep. When your world breaks down and the voice